Hi, how are you? Hello! I recently went to Daiso and I got this yarn and this yarn. I haven't been to Daiso in a really long time, and I went to a different Daiso than the one I normally go to, and they had some really fun yarn that I haven't seen around, at least not recently. So yeah, I think my intentions are I'm going to try to figure out some projects to make with this fun yarn. So yeah, they're both acrylic, and I probably won't put them together because their colors don't really match, but I'm thinking maybe some kitchen scrubbies with this one because it feels like a kitchen scrubby. I'm gonna look at the material that it's made out of, but it feels like a kitchen scrubby. And then for this one, I'm thinking maybe like some frills, like as a edge piece, because it's frilly. So I don't know. We'll have to do some brainstorming to see what exactly I want to make with this yarn. But this is the video where I figure out what to make with my Daiso yarn. Thanks for coming along. I'm going to go look up kitchen scrubbies, and I'm going to Google Translate what's on this receipt. Piece of paper thingy. Okay, so I Google translated what this says. And then I looked up what bubble yarn is. Polyester, but it is made in like scrubbies, essentially. So I made a scrubby. I looked up YouTube tutorials and I really couldn't find any that used this yarn. They were all using tulle instead of this. So I just kind of made up my own. I chained 4, connected it because I didn't want to do a magic circle if it's going to be like a dish scrubby. Chained 4, connected it, I double crocheted 8, and then I double crocheted 2 into each of the first row, so then I had 16, and then I did 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets in each stitch for the last round. Let me know if that doesn't make sense, but I'm going to work up the rest of this yarn and then we'll see what next I do. Should I put little frills on the edge of it? I don't know. Okay, so working up the bubble yarn. I've made 3 scrunchies. I have to weave in the ends. Scrubbies, not scrunchies. 3 scrubbies. And I lost yarn chicken on the last one. And I really can't crochet tighter because then it'll like curl in, if that makes sense. Like I have to make it loose so that it makes a circle. So I'm gonna try to slip stitch the last row instead of single crochet and see if I can do it that way. Because this seems so small, but worst case scenario, I just have a little mini one. And then I have 3 normal sized ones. But I did this in like less than an hour, so they work up very quickly. I wish I'd gotten more of this yarn, but in all honesty, I didn't know what I could make with it at first. I just liked the feeling of it. So better to not get it and wish you had more than get it and waste it. Right? Alright, we have finished with our bubble yarn. I made 3 scrubbies that are all about the same size, and then I did have to just do slip stitch all around, so I made a mini version. And yeah, I think I'm going to give this one to my mom, hold on to these 3, and do you want to see how much yarn I had left after this? This much. That much yarn. So yeah. Again, got this yarn from Daiso. Here's the tag. It's called Bubble Yarn. And this is the color Mint. I will say they didn't have a ton of color options in this yarn style at the Daiso I went to. But yeah, I think it worked out really easy and I'm pretty happy with it. I was very careful about weaving in my ends. I like went back and forth like 4 times on the tops. And then on the insides, instead of doing a magic circle, I did chain 4 and then crochet over my tail just to make sure that everything is nice and tight. But in reality, after about a month or so, you don't want to keep these long term. And yeah, don't keep these long term. 1 to 3 months, I think, is kind of the shelf life for these types of things. But anyway, finished this, and now I just need to find a new project to use the blossom yarn for. So stay tuned for that. Do you see that the wrapper's off of this? That means I've used it. On what, you might ask? I've used it on car visor hammocks. So basically you take your visor off of like your passenger's thing, you unclip it, and you thread this through, and then you clip it back in, and then it hangs like this in your car. And you can put your wallet, you can put your phone, you can put your sunglasses, you can put a little stuffed animal if you have a little friend that you want to take with you on your trip. So yeah, I used Lily Sugar and Cream to do the grape purple, and then I added some whimsy to the sides with some frills. So I do think that I'm going to make some more items and include this in it, but basically just showing you what it looks like worked up. I will say it's impossible to see your stitches. I was trying to like thread, like do some slip stitches at the very end to like connect the round, and I was struggling. I couldn't get my needle to identify where, I mean, you can kind of see if you really, really look, but it's not. I would say it's a good like border yarn. I wouldn't try to, oh look, this looks like a little mini bag. Isn't that cute? Like a tiny little bag. Sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Why did I do that? I don't know. Long story short, we'll add some frills to a few more things. I think I might make a few mug rugs with this as a border, because this would make a good mug rug border. A mug rug is a coaster. It just is frilly and elaborate and is cute. So, mug rug. After that, I don't know what else. What else needs a purple frilly border? I almost bought one of every color in this, but I didn't. But after using this yarn and this yarn, I think I like Daiso yarn. I wouldn't necessarily spend the money to buy like their normal acrylic or cotton yarn, but their little novelty yarn that's kind of like gimmicky. Gimmicky makes it sound like it has no purpose. Cute, extra weird frilly yarn. Yeah, go with that instead. I'd say it's worth it because this is a lot if you're just putting it around borders. And for this one, you get 3 good-sized scrubbies, but you should get 2 packs if you want to make, because this doesn't make 4. So you'll have like scrap yarn, you'll have leftover yarn. I used it to make a teeny tiny little mini scrubby. So what you should do is you should buy 2 of this type of yarn, and then it'll make 7 scrubbies, because it'll make 3 and 3, and then you can combine the scraps and make 1 more. Okay, so buy this one in 2s if you want to use it to make scrubbies, and buy this one if you want to add borders. Don't buy this if you want to make actual projects, because you won't be able to see your stitches. Anyway, that's my review of Daiso yarn. It's great. We had a good time. Bye!